what you got. Oh, I can't see tomorrow. Gotta live, try to get a little wiggle room, the rest don't stop. Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Tryna make a dollar, flip it like it's vinyl. Tryna make a way. What's it worth to you if the price too high? Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Give me your best. I won't tell you nothing less, cause I'm giving you 100. How you always leaving me with nothing? I'm not impressed. It's gonna take more than this, cause I'm giving you 100. And I don't even know if I can trust you for nothing.
Well, good morning. Gosh, dog it. Good morning. Welcome to Monday, y'all. My name is Aaron Dwyer. If you don't know that already, then now you do. For those of you that do know, welcome. Good morning, Adam. Glad you are here. Getting back after it. We got to talk. I thought something different than what I'm seeing right now, but we'll talk later. Guys, it is Monday. It is absolutely, unbelievably the most beautiful Monday, August the 1st, 2023, that you or I have ever had. So I know some of us in Georgia. I'm in Georgia right now. I'm actually in Hartwell, Georgia. And so kind of the got it. Okay, that makes perfect sense now. So back in Hartwell, Georgia, on a Monday, and guys, we're going to take some time this morning as our Georgia kids get back to school. Our kids are back in school. Actually, one of our kids is back in school today. As we get the other ones back in school next week, we're going to go back to a 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central call, just because that makes that easier to get everything done in the morning before taking off and getting everybody to school. So put that on your calendars that we will be getting after it. Kind of here's the deal, y'all. And we've got a lot of new people that are coming in. We have a lot of new people that are starting to join us, join the nation, join Exit Realty Lake Country Nation. So I want to make sure that everybody understands how this works. So in the mornings, obviously we get started. So what I love to see, and obviously Adam, we see you got to get your things set up so I can see you on StreamYard. So we use a platform to stream these. But what I'd love to see is your name, a good morning and your name. Let me know you're here with us. This is completely interactive in the morning. And so put your name in there. Good morning from so-and-so. And I'm hoping we're starting to build this thing, start to build back some momentum in the morning calls and get you guys fired up and ready for your day. Just as a background, just as a reminder, it's August 1st. It's a reset. I guess you could say August 3rd is a reset. You could say September 12th is a reset. I guess every moment is the moment when you can use, where you could use that particular moment to reset. Every single moment is waiting for you to be the best version of you. And I'm not going to get too deep off into that right now, but we as humans, we all use these markers to say this is a reset. If it's the 1st, if it's the 15th, it's the 22nd, whatever it is. Full moon, half moon, quarter moon, zip moon, dogs up, cats down. It doesn't matter what it is. We find some way to motivate ourselves in our mind to then move forward into this next thing, into our best version of us. So that was kind of the purpose of this call. So we started this call back, going on a year and a half ago now, just as an effort with our particular agents and our company at the time, to say good morning and remind them really that they are real estate agents, to say good morning and remind them how wonderfully created they're made, to get up in the morning and help them punch the clock to their day, so that Christy said this, the other day, if you don't own your day will own you. If you don't own what's going on in your day is going to make you react to whatever it is it throws out in front of you. So that's what the purpose of this call was. We evolved from, hey, just a little check-in, 2 or 3 days a week, to it going every single day, to it being 30 or 40 minutes, to it being actually 10 or 15 minutes, being 30 or 40 minutes, and getting sometimes over an hour. but we decided we were going to make these really. We weren't going to go into an hour. I, y'all know as well as I do, best laid plans of mice and men. You know how that the end of that goes. But I'm about this morning. We're going to get rolling. We have come off an unbelievable week. We had the joy and pleasure of being invited to United Wholesale Mortgage last week by Kevin and Cassie Kenderson. Kevin's a broker owner of Blendingham Mortgage in Nashville, Tennessee. We got invited to go to Detroit to United Wholesale Mortgage's headquarters. They are unbelievably gargantuan, over the top, crazy beautiful, unbelievably monstrous campus to do a one-day immersion. Christy and I got invited to come speak at that. And probably the more fun piece of that for us was the fact that we got to bring some folks that we love. We brought some of our some folks that are on our team on the collective. We brought some folks that we know from previous companies. We got to bring actually the person that introduced me and Christy. We got to bring her as with us as well, which is another story for another day. But we got to go sit with 180 agents in this room and just have a one-day immersion to United Wholesale Mortgage, their operation, kind of the heart behind their company, which really is their leader, their CEO, Matt Ishbia. Adam, it was, I'm telling you, man, it was so Adam was one of the collective agents that went with us, and it was an absolute blast, man. We had an absolute ball. I will tell you, Adam, that's typically what we do whenever we go out of town. So just get used to that when you go back with us. But kind of and then we left Detroit. Christy and I left Detroit, said our goodbyes to our folks. They headed back to Georgia and Tennessee, and then Christy and I flew to Dallas to sit in the Create Conference. The Create Conference is a conference that is put on by a man named Ken Jocelyn. Ken Jocelyn was, some of you know the story, was really the reason and the introduction for Christy to EXP, which then was my introduction to EXP. Amy, good morning, Amy Cole. Amy Cole's with us, y'all, and good morning. And they are amazing, Amy. They are absolutely amazing. It's an amazing company. They have an amazing mindset. They have an amazing heart set. They have an amazing what they do for their employees. Funny, crazy story, Amy, is that on the flight from Detroit to Dallas, we actually sat by one of their corporate attorneys. We actually got to sit by and have a conversation with one of their corporate attorneys. Crazy. The girl looked like she was 12 years old, but she was one of UWM's corporate attorneys, which was a cool conversation. That was neat. So at Create, y'all, to tell you, you guys hear us say this to you all the time. Proximity is a cheat code. That's one of Ken Jocelyn's and his Growth Stack Drive platform. That is one of his sayings. You'll hear him say that a lot if you ever get to be in one of his events or be at one of his events. You'll hear him say proximity is a cheat code. And I want you to think about that. That's something maybe you write down. I say proximity is power. Other people say proximity is power. And basically what that means, and we're going to talk about some of that today, is when you get in a room with people who are doing the things better than you. You are in a room with people who are doing excellent things. When you get at the table with somebody and you have dinner with somebody who is at a level that is so far beyond where you are right now, it's crazy. Vic Keller said this the other day. He said, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's really, y'all saw I put an Instagram post the other day. If he can do it, I can do it. That's the cool thing about proximity and being around those people is we start to change what we believe about ourselves. Y'all know one of the things that I say a lot is we all function to the breadth and depth of our understanding of ourselves, right? We all function to exactly where we're going. We all function to that level, that boundary, that limit to what we truly believe. And I heard this morning. I wrote this down, and I think it says it so much better than that. Human beings always follow through in who they believe themselves to be. And I want you to hear this. Human beings always follow through in who they believe themselves to be. So when you go to a conference like Ken, I see Ken on here this morning. Good morning, Ken. Love you, brother. When we go to something like Create, where Ken Jocelyn is leveraging his heart, he's leveraging his soul and spirit to bring world-class people in a room. I got chills, y'all. I wish I could see my arms. To be these world-class people in this room, for us to sit and listen to them. And it's not just sitting and listening to them. Imagine the difference in going to a Billy Graham concert and going to Billy Graham's house. You think there would be a difference in the message? You think there would be a difference in that intimacy with you sitting with Billy Graham, sitting beside him on a couch in his living room? Do you think you would gain more insight? Do you think you'd feel a little differently than you would be being in a stadium watching him speak to 20,000 people? This is what Ken does. This is the power of proximity. This is the power of being in a room with these people. Adam, you experienced it the other day. When you get in a room, when you see these people, one of the most a group like Create, a group like Grow Stack Drive, a group when you go to United Wholesale Mortgage, when you're in these places with these people who are doing the thing, right? They're doing the thing, right? You get a chance to sit around the table and break bread with them. You get a chance to sit right there with them and share a meal and listen to the intimate stories, listen to how they do what they do, get to know the person. Y'all, when you get around world-class people, it can't help but make you start wanting to be world-class. That's the power of proximity. That's why Ken says proximity is a cheat code, because when you get around people who are world-class, it's hard for you to be sorry. And that's just the truth. So these events that we put on, these opportunities for you to get around people who are doing the thing, don't look at it like, it's so inconvenient or it's so rough. It is literally an opportunity for you to shake off another layer, to peel away another excuse, to knock off another one of those mediocre things that we create for ourselves in our lives as we go through and just accept mediocre, as we go through and just accept average. When you get in these rooms, man, you don't want to be average anymore. You don't want to be mediocre anymore. Some of y'all don't know who Vic Keller is, and I've actually got this printed. So Vic, I'm not sure if you'll ever watch this, but I'm gonna shout him out. I got his stuff written down right here, and we're going to go through this because I think Ken said it the other day. It may have been Vic or maybe been Ken. A smart thing to do is to take what smart people say and say that again. You see, the message, and I'm going to use an example of this. It's not stealing. It's not cheating. It's not anything. The Bible hasn't changed. Let me back up. The Bible has changed, obviously, from its original state through the Aramaic, into the Greek, into the Hebrew, into the Greek, into English, into Old English, into New English, and we got 734 translations of the same word now, and everybody picks a Bible that makes them feel the best about themselves, and I get it. But the gist, what I'm saying is, Jesus's words, the words of the disciples, the inspired word of God has changed over the years. Now, I'm not going to get super religious. I'm just using this as an example. There ain't nothing wrong with repeating scripture to people. There ain't nothing wrong than repeating truth to people. So when I look and I'm going to use these things and we're going to go through this, I'm just going to say right now, in an old Tennessee country boy way, there ain't nothing wrong with repeating good word. So if you'll sit and listen, and we're going to do this, man, until I get through them. I don't know how long it's going to take. I talk a lot. I talk long. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. Christy's going to be down here in a minute, and she's going to add her own spin. So we're probably going to be talking for a while. But I'm going to start. So let me do a little background on Vic Keller. I had the pleasure through Ken Jocelyn to meet Vic Keller at a mastermind in Puerto Rico when we first came to EXP. A couple of weeks after we came to EXP, had the opportunity to meet him, had the opportunity to sit by him at lunch and just talk to this guy. If you don't know who Vic Keller is, y'all, it's Vickeller. You should look him up. You want to talk about a dude who's doing the thing. This guy is doing the thing. Had the opportunity to meet him, had the opportunity to sit beside him, had the opportunity to kind of pick his brain for a little bit, and then got a chance to see him again this past week in Dallas. I'll let you figure out who he is. I'll let you do your own research into who Vic Keller is, but suffice it to say, he's probably one of the top entrepreneurs on this planet. And that is not even a little bit of an exaggeration. I don't know where he ranks, but I would venture a guess if I were to go try to find who the best of the best are, he's in the conversation. And I'd venture a guess he's probably in the top 10. Ken probably knows better than I know, but Ken's at the beach with his daughter. I'm not sure if he's probably drinking coffee or working out or doing something else. Here's the beautiful thing about being in a room of people who just love other people. Here's the great thing about being in a room with people who just want to see other people be better. They just love, man. They're humble. They love on people. They give of themselves. So when Vic stood up the other day and did his talk, I'm like, you know what? That dude's doing the thing, right? That guy's getting it done. Let me use some of the words that he uses to express to my circle, because I truly believe this, y'all. I truly believe this to my core, that every single person on this planet is born with a special purpose. The Bible has a story of Jacob and Esau. I think they were the twins. Whether is it Isaac and the twins, Isaac and Jacob. I'm sorry, I'm not a preacher, but he talks about a birthright. Talks about a birthright. You see through the Bible, there are things talking about a birthright, and I believe in my heart of hearts that every one of us from God have a birthright. That every one of us from God have a specific purpose to share with the world. And we have different platforms. We have different ways to do it. But the gist of it all is our job is to uncover this birthright, uncover this purpose, uncover what it is we're supposed to do. And we are supposed to affect the world around us. We are to make the world around us a better place. I believe that to my core. And our job every day is just to walk out in love, walk out in peace and in ease, and walk out in that purpose and just help other people be better better. They should be better when you leave than they were when you got there. And I believe that to my core. My job is to help people uncover that spark, uncover that purpose, uncover what it is they are supposed to do to affect the world around them. And man, I just get in there and fan that flame and use that and fan that spark so I can create a flame. And once I can create a flame, I can set the world on fire. That's what I believe my job is. I believe it to my core. So here we go. It is August the 1st. I feel like David Letterman right here. The top 10. No, I'm just teasing. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to go through, because Vic talked about he talked about a few things. He talked about intentionality. He talked about tenacity. He talked about situational awareness, and he talked about people. Intentionality, tenacity, situational awareness, and people. And I have not been able to talk about situational awareness in quite a while. That was a term that I used to use when I was a police officer, when I used to do a whole lot of training and was jumping off of stuff and trying to blow stuff up and shooting guns that went really shot bullets really fast. We talked about situational awareness all the time. That is a term that when you're in self-defense or in police work or things like that is just a part of your everyday life. So let's talk about intentionality. Let's talk about intentionality, because I think this is absolutely a perfect description and something that helps us. Let's just read it. Intentionality means being purposeful and focused. Being purposeful and focused, combining energy and direction. Intentionality, being purposeful and focused. Purposeful and focused, combining energy and direction. Being intentional with your day, being intentional with your life, combining energy and direction, and going in at a certain speed in a certain direction towards your outcome. You've heard me use this example all the time about the vacation. And when you decide you're going to go somewhere, when you decide you've got a place to go, it doesn't matter if you have enough emotion tied to where you're going. It doesn't matter the challenges that you face. The challenges you face only take you off track of your vacation if you really don't feel like going. If you don't have much emotion tied to the outcome, if you don't have much emotion tied to the intention, if you don't have much emotion tied to where it is that you're headed, all the things in the middle, the stuff that's going to happen, the things that are going to happen, it's just life. You're going to stub your toe. The tire's going to be flat. The battery is not going to, your car's not going to start. The kids are going to throw up in the back seat. I mean, that's just the way it goes. And if your emotion's not tied strongly enough, if your emotion's not strong enough and tied securely enough to the intention, to the outcome, to where you're going, all the things in the middle are an opportunity to turn back. They're all an opportunity to turn back. They're all an opportunity for the enemy of your soul, the enemy to come in, the black wolf to come in and say, you know what? It's probably better if you didn't go there anyway. You probably ought to go back and just go home, and gosh dog it, you don't really have the money to go on vacation. Who knows it's going to be hot. The beach is sandy. Nobody even likes crab legs in your family. I mean, think about all the things in that start, y'all, you've all been there. Every one of us have been in this place where when we don't have a strong enough emotion tied to the intention, tied to where it is, when Vic says you got to combine your energy and your direction, I think your energy needs to be tied through emotion. And there needs to be an emotional quotient, not just energy, because energy diminishes if you don't recharge it. And I'm not trying to, Vic's much smarter than I am. I just know when I have batteries, they all have to be recharged. And I know there are days when I wake up with zero energy. But if I can emotionally tie something to an intention, if I can tie a strong enough emotion to an intention, and decide I'm not going to quit, decide nothing's going to get me off track, decide nothing's going to take me from where I'm supposed to go, you can't beat me. You can't beat me if I don't quit. So, intentionality means being purposeful and focused, combining energy and direction. The power of intention directs energy with purpose, leading to success and personal growth. Vic goes on to say the power of intention directs energy with purpose, leading to success and personal growth. We talked about this on Wednesday in our talk in Detroit. We talked about this Wednesday in our talk to United Wholesale Mortgage, and we talked about energy, that we're all energetic beings, that we all have this energy. We all vibrate. Every one of us on this planet, everything is energy. We heard Rudy Ricksteins. Ken, is that the right name? Rudy Ricksteins talk about this on Friday. We're all energetic beings. Everything on the planet is made of the same matter. Everything on the planet is made of the same substance. It just vibrates at different speeds, which allows us to perceive the difference in a coffee mug and a person on the talking. It's just, we're all molecules. We're all made up of the same stuff. We all operate, but a coffee mug has a much slower energy, a much slower vibration than I do this morning. That's why it's important to get in these rooms where you have a combined energy, where you get chills when you go to church and the worship's good, and you get chills when you go to a sporting event and your team scores and everybody's screaming, you get chills when you show up to the Grand Canyon for the first time and you look over the side and you see how gargantuan this hole is, you get chills. That is the energy transfer from one person to another. It's the energy transfer from a big hole in the ground to you. I got chills thinking about this. Sometimes the Holy Spirit just hits me, whatever you believe in, and that thing just hits me, and the energy increases, and it gives me a little buzz because the vibration and the energy is different. So the power of intention directs your energy. You've got to have an outcome. You got to have someplace you're going. You got to have it out there. You've got to be able to articulate, if nothing else, where it is you're going, what it is you're trying to accomplish, what it is you're going to do. You've got to be able to articulate that. You've got to be able to write it down. You've got to be able to see it, feel it, smell it. You got to be able to put your butt in the seat of the car. You got to be able to understand. And y'all, I got my channel changed. I got my channel changed Thursday night at dinner. And I promise you, I am hoping to introduce you guys to Rudy Rickstein. I've read his book. This guy, I don't know if I'm going to go as far as saying he's my new man crush, but this dude is some kind of freaking cool. He is some kind of freaking cool. Thank you, Ken Jocelyn, for introducing me to Rudy. This guy's pretty special. All right. So I'm going to stop right there. Let's stop. So intentionality means being purposeful and focused, combining energy and direction. The power of our intention directs our energy. It focuses our energy. It directs us toward our intention, leading to success and personal growth. But if your intentions aren't clear, if you're not sure where you're going, the challenges that are sure to come, the challenges that are sure to surface, I can promise you one thing. For every good thing that's trying to happen in your life, there's something bad trying to stop it. The Tuesday before we left to go to Detroit, I saw my wife in the fetal position on a chair crying because she had been punched in the gut. And she didn't cry just once. She cried 3 separate times. She laid in the bed crying as a result of getting punched in the gut, to the point that I said, baby, are you sure you want to go to Detroit? Are you sure this is for us? And she reminded me, yeah, we got to get through tears. Now, it wasn't like she stood up and dusted herself off and said, let's do this. Through tears, she said to me, we got to go. If something like this is happening right now, it is a clear indication that we have to go. Brings me to my second point. The second thing that Vic talks about, tenacity. Becoming relentless in pursuit. Write this down. Tenacity. Becoming relentless in your pursuit. Relentless in your pursuit. Never, never, never giving up. Never, never, never giving up. Y'all have heard me say this before. You don't want to fight a dude that won't give up. You don't want to fight somebody that won't quit. Because I promise you, you can't punch unless you shut him down, unplug the plug from his life source, unless you just shut down his brain or empty him of his blood supply. There are people on this planet who just won't quit. And I promise you, you don't want to fight that person. You do, however, want to be that person. Tenacious people never quit, even when times are tough. Tenacious people never quit, even when times are tough. Guess what? Times are tough. Times are going to be tough. Depending on who you listen to, the real estate market's about to crash. Depending on who you listen to, real estate listings are down. Depending on who you listen to, everybody's getting out of the real estate business. Depending on who you listen to, the America's going to crap. Depending on who you listen to, it's all doom and gloom. Depending on who you listen to. You ain't never lied, Amy. She is relentless. I'm gonna tell you what, that is a true statement. Amy said, if she knows one thing about my wife, she is relentless, and there ain't no doubt about that. She is. I promise you, you don't want to fight her. I promise you don't want to fight Christy. You try to fight my wife, and you better bring a lunch. You better bring 3 or 4 lunches, because I promise you, you're gonna need them. Tenacity. What's your tenacity? What's your level of quit? How easy is it for you to give up? How easy is it for you to quit when things are hard? How easy is it for you to stop making cold calls because the for sale by owner hung up on you? How easy is it for you to sit and get on TikTok or get on Facebook and be distracted for hours on end because something didn't go your way? How easy is it for you to throw in the towel and decide you're not going to work today because something bad happens to you? How easy is it for you to quit? I don't know that answer. Only you do. And that's an answer you got to look at yourself in the mirror and give. One thing I tell my kids all the time, the only person you're trying to beat is who you were yesterday. Navy SEALs say the only easy day was yesterday. Once you've accomplished something, it becomes the ceiling. That becomes the floor. For so long, what you're trying to accomplish. Look at that flag right there, that Masters flag. Man, I've been trying to go to the Masters since I was born. Since I learned what golf was and paid attention to the Masters, I've been trying to go. And I got to go this past April. I got to go on a Sunday, not a practice round. I got to go on a Sunday. The first thing I thought when I got in the car is, now I got to go every year. What was something that was so far outrageous, so far out there, so unbelievably unattainable to me, I attained. And now that ceiling, now that thing I was reaching for is now a floor. Now I got to go every year. Now the challenge is, how do I go every year? Because I promise you, if it was fantastic once, it's going to be fantastic twice. How do I get back? When you decide this thing that you've been reaching for, you finally got it, that ceiling, that was a ceiling, now becomes a floor. And we keep building and we keep building. The only easy day was yesterday, y'all. Who knows what's going to happen in the next 17 hours? None of us do. But our job is to be tenacious. Our job is to keep our eyes focused on the prize and don't get distracted. Y'all, you live in a world of distraction. Right now on my desk, I have a phone. I have a laptop. I have a screen. I got an iPad right behind me. I have a TV on the wall. I've got stuff all over the place. We live in a world of distraction. I thought about that, but guess what? Everything designed to kill us, God fashions for our good. Everything, anything designed to hurt us, God can fashion for his good. Yes or no? Because here's the deal. I thought about that. I thought about this fact this morning while I was making my coffee. It is an absolute fact that there are more millionaires and more billionaires on this planet than ever before. It's a fact. There are more millionaires and more billionaires on this planet than ever before. Here's what I thought about this morning and the reason why that is. I don't believe it's because there's more opportunity. I don't believe it's because of technology. I don't believe it's any of those things. I believe it is because of this phone, because of the internet, because you can get on YouTube and you can watch Vic Keller talk about what he did to make his billions. You can get on YouTube and talk and hear people. You can be in proximity with people and hear the words of people who are doing it. I believe that technology has not only is technology awfully distracting, but in a positive way, technology allows us to be in connection with people who are doing big things. And in listening to those people like Elon Musk, in Gary Vaynerchuk, in Tom Ferry, in whoever, in whatever, listening to these people tell their stories about coming from nothing into making something fantastic, I believe that in 2023, it is so much easier to be a millionaire than it was in 1923. Because in 1923, Napoleon Hill had to get on a train. He had to get on a train and go someplace, send a letter to Dale Carnegie, send a letter to these millionaires to ask them for an audience, to ask them for time to go sit with them, to sit across the desk from them, to listen to the words that they were saying, to then write those words down and then apply that into his spirit. I venture a guess if we had to had to write a letter to get it, had to save up our money to get on a train, to go across the country, to sit across the desk from someone, and do it over and over and over and over again, I don't believe a lot of us would be tenacious enough to see that through. But here's the cool thing. Technology allows us, we don't have to be tenacious. It's easy. We can find it. You right now, today, could listen to Vic Keller Get on YouTube, search Vic Keller, and you can hear Vic Keller speak over and over and over and over and over and over again, hours and hours and hours and hours. And then all of a sudden, it's so crazy because I've said this all the time. Because he said it in his talk on Friday. If I can do it, if that guy can do it, I can do it. That's the power of proximity. That's the power of this technology that we have. That's a reason why I believe there are more millionaires on this planet than there have ever been. It's because you see if that, and y'all, there are some idiots that are making millions. There are some idiots who are doing things bigger than we are. Another talk, another day. Being tenacious, tenacity, becoming relentless in your pursuit. People who have tenacity are determined and have a strong will that knows what they want to achieve. Y'all hear this, right? You're hearing this guy who happens to be one of the most successful billionaires on the planet telling you, and guess what? He didn't make this up. He heard this from somebody else. He's just tried this and trued this and squared this away with his success. So intentionality means being purposeful and focused, combining energy and direction. The power of intention directs energy with purpose, leading to success and personal growth. Embracing challenges, tenacity. Embracing challenges turns setbacks into opportunities for learning and growth. Somebody who's tenacious is determined, and they have a strong will. They know what they want to achieve. You got to have a purpose, y'all. You got to know what's out there. You got to know where you're going. Randy Travis had the song, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, for our country folks that love a little country music. There's wisdom in that there song. All right. Talked about that. I'm going to get going. Situational awareness. Situational awareness. Here's something we always said when I was a police officer. We always said the situation dictates the tactics. That there's never one particular there's not one application to every single scenario, right? The situation dictates the tactics. But to know what tactics to use in a situation, you have to be situationally aware. You have to pay attention to what's going on around you. You have to be a student of your game. So what Vic Keller says, just like a pilot needs a clear sight picture to land safely. So think about this vision, right? And this was because Vic's a private pilot, and he talked about this. What if all your gauges go out? What if everything goes out as you're coming in for a landing? And all you can do is fly this plane by feel. He said the sight picture is looking out the window, gauging the horizon, seeing where you're oriented toward the runway, see what kind of pitch the plane's on. Are you too high? Are you too low? Is the rudder out? Is the rudder straight? Are you pitching one way or the other? But you develop a clear sight picture. You've done it so many times that you can just look and see if it's right or wrong. That's being situationally aware, having a clear sight picture, seeing what's around you and knowing what direction to go. So he says, just like a pilot needs a clear sight picture to land safely, entrepreneurs need a clear vision of success to guide their actions. Are y'all getting this? Are you getting this? You got to have a purpose. You have to have an intention. You have to have a clear picture of where it is you're going. You have to have an end result. If you don't have that today, I'm going to challenge you in one area of your life, either physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, one segment of your life, one piece of who you are as a human being. I want you to sit down today and write out with clear intentions what it is you're going to do, what it is you're going to achieve, what it is that matters the most to y'all. Check this out. I've heard this said so many times, and I finally did it last night, that you take Sunday night. Ken talks about this all the time. You take Sunday night and you write down what you're going to do on Monday. You try to plan out what it looks like for the week. Y'all, I did this last night. This is my this week. I've written down my this week. And you know why it helped me? This morning I got up at 4:45 and I went for a run. I know what my day is going to look like. I'm going to own my day. And I'm telling you right now, I feel better than I felt last Monday. I feel better than I felt last Thursday. I feel better than I felt yesterday. Okay? But there's a theme around this. You have to have an intention. Y'all, stop being lazy with your destination. Stop being lazy with your intentions. Stop being average. Stop being mediocre. Stop not giving a crap about where it is you're going. You got to care where you're going to end up. You got to give a you know what to where you're going. Stay alert to your surroundings and understand relevant information for making quick decisions. Stay alert to your surroundings. This is what situational awareness is. When I was a police officer, and y'all take this for granted. And it's worse now than it was when I was a police officer. I quit being a police officer in 2006, and we all know the world's changed in the last 17 years. That it's different for these guys than it was for me. But even back then, one of the most dangerous places to be was your car. Think about that. How many of you take for granted the fact that you're going to be able to drive, take your kid to school, you're going to drive to the mall, you're going to be able to drive to the office, you're going to be able to drive down the road, stop at a red light, and nobody's going to jump out of the car and kill you? How many of you get in the car? We'll get in the car today, and I know Adam's on the road right now. Do you ever consider the fact that pulling up to a red light that somebody's going to jump out of their car and shoot you? And the answer for most of us is no. But for a police officer, they have to be situationally aware. They have to understand, y'all, every time I pulled up in my police car and I stopped at a red light, I gave myself enough room up front, and I hope that somebody didn't get right up on my bumper, but I gave myself enough room so that if somebody did jump out of their car and start trying to shoot at me, that I could get out of there. I pulled up to the light with enough room to get away if somebody jumped out of their car and tried to shoot me. Additionally, I knew who was beside me. I knew who was beside me. I knew who was in front of me. I knew what was behind me. I looked around and saw everything at that intersection. I do the same thing when I go to a restaurant right now. I still do. I still don't sit with my back to the door. When I walk in, I look around and see who's there. I walk around and pay attention to what's going on. How many of you do that? And I'm not telling you to do that because you're scared of your life, but how many of you do that in every situation that you're in your business? That you're paying attention to all the things in your business? Or is your attention, because you've been mediocre in some things in your life, your attention to your business has become mediocre? Because you become average in other parts of your life, you've started to be average in your business. You started not paying attention to the things you need to pay attention to. You've lost the ability to become situationally aware. Stay alert to your surroundings. Pay attention to what's going on. Know what's going on in your farm. Know what's going on in your market. I'm just talking to real estate agents right now. Know what's happening in your neighborhood. Know what's happening in the county. Know what they're trying to do in this, that, and the other thing. They're always doing something. Pay attention. Be situationally aware. I hope that makes sense. Pay attention. I call this being professional. If you're going to be in this business, if you're going to be in the real estate business, you're going to be in the mortgage business, you're going to be whatever business that you're going to be in. If it's Ken Jocelyn building an organization, building a platform, building a mastermind, if it's me building a coaching platform or doing real estate or growing a team or whatever it is that I'm trying to do, if I'm average in my attention and I am not situationally aware and I'm mediocre in my attention to the things that I'm supposed to do, I don't pay attention to detail, I go through my life in an average way, y'all, it may not affect you in that moment, but it will affect you eventually. Be situationally aware. Being aware helps you respond effectively to challenges and opportunities. Listen to me. Write this down. Being aware helps you respond effectively. Knowing what my exits were when I was at that intersection, being aware to who was around me allows me to respond appropriately. So if the bad guy jumped out of the car and came at me with a gun in his hand, I got two choices. I'm not going to sit there and wonder what he's there to do. I'm not going to sit there and wonder how I ought to react. I've got a plan in place. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm either going to pull off, drive through the exits I created for myself, or I'm pulling it out and I'm sticking it out the window and we're rocking and rolling. There were one or two choices. But too many of us, because we're not situationally aware, too many of us, because we don't know what our intention is, too many of us, because we're not sure what our destination is, when the challenge comes, we have what we used to call in tactics moments of puzzlement. And in these moments of puzzlement, the doubt starts to creep in. And in those moments of puzzlement, let me give you an example. Bad guy jumps out. I'm sitting at the intersection. He jumps out with a gun. I go, oh my gosh, that guy's got a gun in his hand. I wonder why he has that gun in his hand. Oh, wow, he's walking toward me. I wonder why he's walking toward me with a gun in his hand. I wonder what he's going to do with that gun in his hand as he's walking toward me. You think he's going to hurt me or hurt somebody else? Those are moments of puzzlement. And it happens really, really quickly. For some of us, those moments of puzzlement turn into days or weeks or months. And we sit there stuck, wondering what to do, wondering where to go, twiddling our thumbs, being distracted on our phones. Uh-oh, lost a light. Being distracted on our phones, being distracted in what we do, not paying attention to our game, and we just do this over and over and over again, hoping that one day it's going to be okay. Be situationally aware. Being aware helps you respond effectively to challenges and opportunities, minimizing your risks and maximizing your income or your outcomes. All right. I'm gonna finish. Has this been good? Is everybody still with us? Has this been good for y'all this morning? Y'all like this? Yes, no, maybe so? Been decent? I think it's pretty good. Anything in here helping y'all? I know some of you are maybe driving. Some of you are listening to this in the bathroom, getting ready. So, but if you can comment, I'd just love to. I'd love to. Well, good morning, Miss Heidi. Good. All right, here's the last one. People. Here's our last. And we're going to do this every day. We're going to go through these four. We're going to go through intentions, intentionality, tenacity, situational awareness, and people. We're going to do this, okay, every day till we run out of them. And I got a bunch. So y'all just keep coming back. I got a bunch. Big Killer's a pretty smart fella. People. Look for mentors with great success, values, and practices to gain a broader understanding of business challenges. Look for mentors with great success, values, and practices to gain a broader understanding of business challenges. This goes back to proximity is power. When you hang out with eagles, man, you want to fly. When you hang out with turkeys, you just want to walk around. You got to find the right people in your life. You got to find the people in your life, okay? And I'm telling you right now, it's as easy as it's ever been to create relationships with people who are doing big things. Kim Hollingshead, who came with us to Detroit, she is a title attorney in Nashville, Tennessee. She's actually the woman who introduced Christy and I. So we have Kim has a special place in our heart. But she talks about she's a new golfer. And she found this guy on the internet who's apparently a fantastic golf coach. She sent him an Instagram DM. It said, hey, I'd love to get lessons from you. This dude's in California. And she sent him a DM and said, hey, I'd love for you to teach me. And he's like, come on out. So now Kim comes from Nashville to California. She's on the range with this top 10 golf coach who is obviously successful, has a background of success, has a background of making other people really good at golf. And now she's sitting in his tutelage. He's teaching her. And she said, I promise you, Aaron, she said, in a matter of 3 or 4 hours, my golf swing was fantastic. That he knew exactly what to do, exactly what direction to go, exactly what angle this needed to be and where my hand should be and all those things to make it Fantastic. Because here's the thing that blows my mind, y'all. You have access to so many people who are doing big things, yet most of us are afraid to go up to that person and say, I need you in my life. We're afraid of rejection. The same way we approach a cold call is the same way we approach somebody who we know we need to have in our lives. We are afraid of rejection. We are afraid of being told no. I promise you, the people who are doing big things with the right heart, they want to share with as many people as they can share with. I promise you, people who are doing big things and have a heart and they love and they want to see other people be better, they are going to find a way to be in your life to help you. I know this from personal experience. Don't be afraid to find someone doing things better than you and ask them to be in your life. Look for mentors with great success values and practices to gain a broader understanding of business challenges. I will say this because Vic did say this, because it's the next word on this. He said, seek guides, not gurus. And I kind of was scratching my head a little bit when he first said it. Do y'all know the difference in a guide and a guru? You know what a guru is? And for the sake of time, because we're running out of time, I'm going to go ahead and go. A guru is somebody who has a lot of knowledge, but very little experience, if any. A guru is somebody who sits on the sidelines, espousing their knowledge, espousing the things they know, talking about all the ways you should be better when they themselves haven't done it. That's a guru. They're there mostly for inspiration, not much for application. The only way a guide is because a guide has been where you're going. The only way a guide can be a guide, I'm going to say that again. The only way a guide can be a guide is because they've been where you're going. Can you imagine? And this brings this to mind because we just had a conversation about a guide on Friday night. And can you imagine going on an African safari in an open top Jeep with somebody in the front seat who is your guide who's never been out in the bush before? And you sit down, there's a driver, you sit there with your wife and you got some friends and you're all in the same vehicle, open top, and you meet the guy who's in the guide in the front, and his picture was the guide was in the front, the driver sits right here and the guide's looking. And you ask him, well, how long have you been doing this? He's like, oh, this is my first day. Hang on just one second. I know everybody has to have a first day at something, but what you're telling me right now is we're about to go out in the bush. This is your first time out in the bush being a guide, and there's like lions and bears and tigers and crap out there that'll kill me, right? That's what you're telling me, elephants and things like that, and this is your first time. And he's like, yeah, this is my first time. I'm not sure I'm going. I'm not sure I'm going. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not sure I'm leaving. That's the difference in a guide and a guru. A guide has experience. They have been where you're going. You need guides in your life. You need guides in their life because guides share their failures and lessons. They help you to avoid common pitfalls. If you will listen and pay attention, they will help you avoid the mistakes they made, because I promise you, to get from A to Z, you got to make mistakes. I'm going to stop right here, y'all. I'm going to recap this, okay? Oh, God, I keep turning my light on. All right, so let's recap today. We talked about intentionality. Being purposeful and focused, bring energy and direction to where you're going. The power of your intention brings energy, or directs energy with purpose. Sorry. The power of intention I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read. The power of intention directs energy with purpose, leading to success and personal growth. Embracing challenges turns setbacks into opportunities for learning and growth. Embracing challenges turns setbacks into opportunities for learning and growth. Intentionality, tenacity. Tenacious people never quit, even when things are tough. They keep their eyes focused on the prize and don't get distracted. Tenacity, they are determined and have a strong will that knows what they want to achieve. Tenacity. Situational awareness. Just like a pilot needs a clear sight picture to land the plane safely, entrepreneurs, you, I, in this what we do, need a clear vision of success to guide your actions. Stay alert, pay attention to your surroundings. Understand relevant information. Understand what information you need to make quick decisions, but also being able to, we call that pivoting and adjusting. Being aware helps you respond effectively to challenges that are going to come and opportunities which are also going to come, minimizing your risks and maximizing your outcomes. People, seek guides, not gurus. Look for mentors with great success, values, and practices to gain a broader understanding of business challenges. Guides share their failures and lessons, helping you to avoid common pitfalls. Thank you, Vic Keller. Thank y'all this morning. We've been here for almost an hour, longer than, and I'll try to figure out a way to make this a little bit shorter. But listen, today, here's your challenge. Set your intention on something. Have a purpose. Get clear on where it is you're going. Get clear on your intention. Get clear on what it is you're trying to do. That's your challenge today. All right? Be good, be great, be you. We'll see y'all in the morning. Bye, y'all.